What's up, everybody? This is Maximilian. Today we are going to fight Morty the gym leader. Kind of weird. I actually kind of noticed it from taking all my Latin classes back in middle school and whatever. But the root of his name, Mort, or Mor, actually means death in Latin, so I guess it's only fitting that he uses ghost-type Pokemon. Just my little aside there. I know, I'm a huge nerd. Anyway, this battle really comes down to there's only two things that can actually make you, I guess, better, or give you a better chance at winning this. You're going to need a great deal of luck, because Hypnosis is absolutely brutal, especially when fighting Ghost-type Pokemon because they know Dream Eater, and his Gengar is just obscenely powerful. So if you can avoid it, if at all possible, I guess cross your fingers and hope Hypnosis doesn't work, or you buy a ton of Awakenings at the nearest Pokemon Mart, because he's going to use Hypnosis on you non-stop. And if he ever does land one and get a Dream Eater on you, then it's just game over. You are just boned. So, you could do what I did and restart the game after getting just absolutely crushed the first time I tried this. It seemed to work out fairly well, because for whatever reason, the second time I fought him, he could not hit anything. And I was like, oh yes, this is so awesome. I didn't even have to try for that one. It was so unbelievably easy. And then I got really stupid. I decided to get greedy and do some Pokemon cloning, because I wanted an extra copy of the Shadow Ball TM he gave out, because that thing is freaking awesome. So I was going to Pokemon Glitch it, I went to copy it, I restarted the emulator, and then I just realized, oh crap, I didn't save the game after I beat him. So I had to fight him a third time, and it sucked. So this is actually what you're seeing is the third attempt, but nonetheless, I did manage to get through him. It takes a lot of patience, and it takes a lot of Pokemon, actually. Your party's going to be decimated unless you just get absolutely balls-to-the-wall lucky, and he doesn't hit a single attack through the entire time. Because Hypnosis Dream Eater is insane, and Hypnosis in general is just really good against you. Because when your Pokemon's sleeping, they can't do anything, and since his Pokemon are so fast anyway, even if you do use Awakening, odds are he's just going to immediately throw a Hypnosis back at you, and it's going to land again. So you're just going to have to get pretty lucky with this, unless you have a fast, high-level Pokemon that you can put a Quick Claw on. That would probably be a good idea. I didn't really think to do it here, because none of my Pokemon are exceptionally high-level, at least compared to his anyway. So I just figured I'd take my chances and see what happened, and as you can see, I failed quite a bit over the course of trying to kill his Gengar here. Caught quite a bit of epic fails, but eventually we got lucky enough. I threw a couple of bites at him with Crocodile. It's really weird, because for whatever reason, I don't know why, Dark-type moves are good against Pokemon, and for whatever reason, Bite is a Dark-type move. I have no idea why, but it is. Although, considering Crocodile isn't a Dark-type Pokemon, it doesn't really, it doesn't give it any kind of bonus multiplier, so it's not really that good. Surf and Bite essentially do the same amount of damage, even though Bite is super effective. So basically, just keep throwing your good attacks at him and hope he doesn't ever hit Hypnosis, because that's really the only way I can think of to beat his Gengar, because his Gengar is just so freaking good. I mean, any time that they throw Curse at you, it's really not that big of a deal, especially considering they're cutting their HP in half, so they're doing half the work for you. But when the Gengar just throws nothing but Hypnosis and Dream Eater at you, which is what he did the first time with me, it just gets very, very difficult. I was about literally this close to raging and just throwing a rock through my computer. I was about ready to just destroy it and to heck with it. This was just absolutely driving me crazy. I somehow managed to kill him this time, and I was quite grateful for it. I saved my game immediately after that, because I did not want to have to deal with that again. He's definitely one of the harder gym leaders that you'll fight over the course of the game, so be prepared. This guy is going to give you a bit of a challenge. Now, Shadow Ball is amazing. I would recommend duplicating it at least a couple of times before you do. Save the game. Don't be like me and make you fight him over again. Don't make that mistake. So, Shadow Ball is not terribly powerful, however, the fact that it typecast as a ghost move is incredibly effective. So I would make a couple copies of it, and oddly enough, Togepi can learn Shadow Ball. So if you happen to ever run into a ghost Pokemon again, your Haunter that the rival, or not your Haunter, the Haunter that your rival has, and there's really the only good Pokemon in his entire team, the rest of them are just terrible, piss poor terrible. So if you throw a Togepi with a Shadow Ball at a Haunter, odds are you got a pretty good chance of winning that, because Ghost-type moves can't affect Normal-type Pokemon, and seeing as how Togepi is a Normal-type Pokemon, you've already got a nice advantage there. But knowing a Ghost-type move against a Ghost-type Pokemon gives you double the advantage. So Togepi Shadow Ball on Haunter is pretty amazing, to say the least. There's really not much he can do to you except curse you, because I don't think any other move that he knows at that level can actually do damage to you. So, throw in Togepi, throw a couple Shadow Balls at him, and you're good to go. The rest of his party will fall like dominoes, because his Magnemite is actually a Steel type in addition to Electric, which means if you throw any kind of fire attack at it, then it will just explode into smithereens. Really, Steel-type Pokemon are awesome, except for the fact that they have utterly zero chance of beating any Fire-type Pokemon in the entire game. It is their strict Achilles heel. I have no idea why they're so bad against it. Like, some super effective moves, they're good against some things, but like super effective doesn't always mean that it's just, it's instantly going to kill you. But for whatever reason, Fire on Steel is just obscenely powerful. So if you do happen to get any Steel-type Pokemon later in the game, be well aware of that. If they ever do throw a Fire-type move at you, odds are you're going to die. It pretty much happens all the time. And when we go to fight whatever her face is, I think it's Jasmine, but I could be wrong, the Steel-type gym leader somewhere later in the game, you're basically just going to run Quilava all over her face, and then she's going to wallow in pity and sorrow. Blah, blah, blah. We'll get there eventually. Now, I was not able to free the beasts in this tower right now where we're fighting our rival, because unfortunately, I forgot we needed Rock Smash. So we're going to get Rock Smash a little bit later. We may actually get it next episode. I can't remember if we have to get it after we beat the gym leader or before. But we need to get it in the 5th city, whose name I cannot remember right now for whatever reason. But don't worry, we will eventually free these beasts and hopefully run into one of them, because you actually have to run into them at least once before you can locate their nest on the Pokedex. So it could take some time, but I will try my best to find one. Especially Suicune, because that seems to be the popular guy in the party. At least that's the one that you guys seem to be voting for a lot in the Elite Four poll. I'm going to try my hardest, but I can't really make any guarantees. It's basically all a matter of luck at this point. So, I will continue to do that. And for the rest of this episode, we're basically only going to be fighting trainers that are en route to the next city. Because I got my little level grinding itch. I just need to fight something, raise my Pokemon a few levels, and then I realized that I ran out of time. So, in this short 15-minute segment, we're going to be fighting a few more trainers, but we're not getting anywhere farther. We just got done with pretty much the rest of Ecruteak City, and now we need to move on. So, for the time being, let's bring something else to the table. This is a gym leader episode, technically speaking, so go ahead and leave a comment and vote for your favorite Pokemon in the Elite Four. It can be just one of your favorites that you want to see, or you can list a whole team. Doesn't really matter. I'm going to be counting your votes, and at the end of the 8th gym, I will let you know what's going to be in the party. And it may take me a few episodes to actually get the Pokemon. I may have to play on my own for a little while, but I will do my best to level grind them to fighting status, so to speak. So, go ahead and leave a comment in there, and also, in the description you'll find a link to my Twitter account. Go ahead and follow me on Twitter if you use Twitter, and if you don't, that's okay. Alright, Twitter shoutout, taken care of. By the way, I also have a link to my little GFX guy in the tab. His name is Chilled Zero, goes by Mitch. Really awesome guy. He actually put up a speed art of his Modern Warfare 3 desktop background about, actually a couple minutes ago, and it's really freaking amazing. He's absolutely talented at GFX, so if you need any work done, or know anybody who needs work done, go ahead and check him out. He's got some really cool stuff on his channel, and I think you'll enjoy him. And tell him I sent you. Alright, I feel like I'm Billy Mays here. Like I'm advertising or pitching some product, so now we're done there. And that's really weird. Billy Mays is dead. And we still keep talking about him like it's, commonplace. I don't know. God rest Billy Mays. Alright, now we got that out of the way. Let's talk about something. I want to know. Well, I guess I don't really want to Well, yeah, I do want to know. I lie to myself a lot, guys. I'm practically schizophrenic here when I do these commentaries. Alright, so, question of the day is, what's your favorite hobby? I don't know. I don't know if I could really pinpoint a favorite hobby of mine, because I've got a lot of interests. I love snowboarding. I usually go to Colorado once a year. Snowboarding is really big for me. I love basketball, especially when it comes to like watching college basketball. March Madness is super freaking awesome. Love March Madness. I love baseball. I play intramural softball for my university, so that's pretty fun. And we also I also do play golf on occasion, not too often though, just because it's kind of hard to work out a time to go on a golf course. You have to arrange a tee time, things like that, and it can get pretty expensive depending on where you go. But I do occasionally play golf, especially when it's for IMs because it's free at that point. So you might as well take a free round of golf. But let's see. I think my favorite hobby. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to stick with video games. It seems like it's too stereotypical, but that's basically like that was like my go-to thing. Is even when I was young, like technology has always fascinated me, and it was always very easy for me to I guess delve into it when it came to video games. I think the first system I ever got was a Sega Genesis when I was 6 years old. So this was way back when. So my first video game naturally was Sonic the Hedgehog. I freaking loved Sonic the Hedgehog when I was little. I watched the movies. I watched the cartoon on whatever channel that was on. That's probably not existent now. Like Sonic was freaking awesome. So I didn't actually learn of Mario until my uncle actually gave us his Super NES, which was about 2 years afterward. And that's the one that really got me started. Like Sonic the Hedgehog was awesome and all, but I discovered all these new games for Super NES, which I just fell in love with. Like Super Mario World, which is one of the best games of all time, not even close. If any of you have never played Super Mario World before, download an emulator, like an SNES emulator, and find a ROM for it, because it is so freaking good. It is worth buying this whole system just for that game. And you can probably pick one up on eBay for like $20 now. Super NES was one of the best gaming systems ever made, and it still is. It's amazingly fun. And from there, I discovered a ton of other games, like Donkey Kong Country, awesome. Gradius 3, which is another great game, but most people haven't heard of. And I also, let's see, what else did I run? Oh, Super Mario 3. I know that's technically an NES game, but they had it on like, I guess like a super pack where you had all the original NES Mario games in one cartridge. Super Mario 3 was freaking awesome. I remember the first time I was shown the whistle glitch. I abused that to no end, but for whatever reason I couldn't get past World 8 because, well, let's be honest, I sucked at the game, but it was still way, way cool. Kirby's Dream Land. I probably played that game more than any other game that I ever played for any video game console. I have no idea why, but when my uncle gave us his game console, I think that was the only game he had with it was Kirby's Dream Land. I can't remember which rendition of it was, but it was freaking addicting. I don't know what it is about Kirby, because like you don't see much of him at all anymore. But it was so much fun, and the music is just, I don't know, the music was really trippy, but it was really cool. So that was my childhood upbringing with video games. Just slowly introduced to me, but it just got me hooked. So I've stuck with them ever since. I'm pretty sure I've owned at least every system that's been released, except for a couple of things. I don't think I've ever actually owned an original Xbox. I haven't owned a PS3. I don't really plan on doing it. Apparently there's a Wii 2 coming out, but I'm not sure if I will consider buying one. I ended up getting a Wii for my 16th birthday. Ironically, the morning I woke up with, I guess what's called like the legit flu. I don't know what it was, but it was really bad. I got sick during my Sweet 16, so I went home. Went home during my birthday party. It sucked. And then I woke up the next morning and I found a Wii on our kitchen table. It's like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. At least I have something to do now while I'm not going to school for the next 5 days. So that was kind of interesting, but I really don't have much interest in the Nintendo Wii and the new consoles. That's another topic for another day. My goodness, that was a long rant about my video game hobby. So, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Be sure to come by for the next video, which will be up soon. See ya.